What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rude Opinions podcast with KT and JP. KT, what's going on, dude? How was your week?
It was good, dude. We are back. Episode 3. You know what the best
3.
thing about today was?
We
didn't have to watch the Jaguars stinking up all over the field.
Yeah.
And Houston went down today in a mighty fashion, which makes me as happy as I can be on a Sunday.
Absolutely. But you know what? In the words of Trevor Lawrence, we suck right now. What's going on in Jacksonville, dude?
We do suck right now. And I don't know, man. It gets to a point where it's just like this team is such a Jekyll and Hyde team. I don't understand. Like, we've built it. It's supposed to be built. Get the coach in place. The owner spending money. New stadium coming. Trevor is paid. Josh Allen-Hines is paid. Like, we're supposed to be there. And first 2 weeks have been complete dog shit.
Last week was a disappointment, to say the least. It was so bad to go up, and you watched Indianapolis just beat Cleveland.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what's going on in Jacksonville. What's the problem? I mean, is it front office? Is it coaching? Is it players? Is it all the above? It's a mess, and their season is on the brink of spiraling out of control tomorrow night on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, and that's what the Jags will do, is we'll end up going up tomorrow night and beating the Bills. And it'll be out of nowhere, just like there was some 0-2 team that won today. Like, it's still early in the season, but, man, it's like we should be 2-0. We should be going in this game as being the biggest talked about game of the week, the 2-0 Bills versus the 2-0 Jaguars. Instead, we're sitting here like, I think we're going to win. But I have a feeling we are going to win. We seem to own the Bills.
Yeah, but there's nothing that I've seen so far that I've said that we're going to own anybody, except the second half last week. The second half last week, they up-tempo. They started to play. Like, why aren't we running like that? If I have to see another fucking bubble screen, I am going to shoot myself. I mean, vertical versus horizontal. It's been the problem of this offense for so long, and I am sick and tired of the bubble screen.
Yeah, ever since the skid last year. Like, I mean, shit, we've lost what? I mean, dating back to the second half of last season, that we're going on seven losses in a row, right?
The last 10 games were 2-8.
Yeah. And here we are, fucking, and it showed, like, the best thing I have a feeling good about is that, like, finally seeing Trevor pissed off after the game last week. And calling out everybody, including himself. He started with himself. And it was good to see. First week, Doug was pissed after the game. Like, is this what we finally are going to get some kind of fucking identity out of this team? Because they don't seem to have one.
Yeah, they don't know if they're a running team. They don't know if they're a passing team. They don't know if they're a defensive team. Like, the defense has played well, though. I mean, you give up 18 against
have they?
Cleveland. I mean, less than 20 points both games.
I get that. But also, like, I think half the reason that, I mean, Trevor was off early last week, but fuck, Cleveland had the ball the entire first half. How do you get in any offensive rhythm? And then they finally get into an off. Like I said, it's a Jekyll and Hyde. First half versus Miami, we look like world beaters. We're like, holy shit. And then we could have punched it in and finished them, fumble on the one, and here we are.
It's like one play derailed the team.
Entire team up.
It was like they derailed the team. They came out and were dominating Miami. And then they come out. Now, I know the weather was bad. Evan Ingram had the game time hamstring situation, which probably threw everybody a loop. But
not to mention, fucking Jacksonville. And we've said this for years.
I think this is a major problem. I really do think this is a major problem. I know where you're going with it, and I think it's a major problem, and that's why there was no juice on the sideline. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah. Is that we don't show up until we're going to be in the playoffs. Then we're an amazing fan base. Oh my God, 2022 in the playoffs. We were there we had season tickets that year, and even going into the playoffs, like, that stadium was electric. Home opener on a team that's supposed to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost to Miami.
If you're a player and you're hyped up for your home opener, you come running out of the tunnel and you see nothing but orange. What do you think that does to you as a player? And
it's fucking hot.
And then they wonder.
It's 100 degrees out.
And the whole narrative of the day was there was no juice on the sideline. Probably is because we were felt like we were playing in Cleveland. And Cleveland's not even a well-traveled team like Pittsburgh and Kansas City, but it is a joke. If we're not playing Tennessee or Indianapolis, that stadium is filled.
Shit, even when we're playing them is half the stadium's those fans.
I mean, when we play AFC South teams, it's more filled. But when everybody else is there, it's like, I mean, that was devastating. And as a player, when you show up, if you don't think that was a problem that caused that juice, I mean, you got to look at the bigger picture here.
And it's almost like they got to wake up, which they ended up doing in the second half. And then it still was mistakes, and it still was this. And I don't know, man. We're finally at a point where, like, I'm like, I believe we have a really good team. I believe everything's in place.
I think the pieces are there.
But, man, there's just something that is fucking not right. It's clear. It's clear. It takes one instance in a game, and it sends a team completely in the other opposite direction. And I don't know what that is or why it happens, or I don't know. It was awesome for me to see Trevor finally come out in his presser last week after the game and just be like, we suck.
Yeah, that was exactly how I started. He said, we suck right now.
Yeah. I mean, we're not a good offense right now.
No.
And he actually gave credit to the defense. He goes, the defense is playing their ass off.
They are.
Which they are. I mean, it could be better. There was no pass rush last week. They
haven't turned the ball. They haven't had a takeaway yet.
They haven't had a takeover. And Cleveland dominated the first half of that game. So it's just like, shit, you guys got to get off the field. The offense has to stay on the field. It's like you see what they want to do. And it's like, so then we get to the point where we're like talking now about like Doug Peterson and stuff. And it's like, dude, does he just forget how to coach? I don't think a guy who's won a Super Bowl, who like lost his starting quarterback, had a backup come in, run the table, and defeat the fucking Belichick Patriots. Like, do you think he's forgotten how to coach? Does he not know how to get the pulse of the team? Like, I don't know what it is, dude.
There's something going on in the building. I mean, I hope that it's not as serious. And it may just be
overreaction by us because we're 0-2 and we're looking at. But fuck, if
we're 0-2 and we're looking at 0-4. I mean,
we are looking at 0-4.
I mean, Monday night is going to tell you what's going to happen. Are they going to fight through this? Are they going to recover, or are they going to just fold up and we're looking for new coaches or what? I don't know.
Yeah, we're starting it all over again. I mean, how many fucking times do we have to go through starting all over again?
It's been a lot for us.
And it's like, even the owner, we were just talking about this earlier today. It's like, I believe in Shad. I think he wants a winner. He believes in Jacksonville.
He's spending
the investments
the money
there. Does he not know how to pick the right people? I mean, the Urban thing was a complete failure.
Yeah, but I think Doug's the right guy.
So do I. I really do. Like, I think if anyone can get this figured out, it's Doug. And I think Trevor's the right guy. Like, in all my heart, I believe that Trevor's the right guy.
I know you do.
He's got shit to work on.
He does. I mean, the thing that bothers me about Trevor, and I'm not saying it bothers me. I shouldn't say that. But he needs to. The wins aren't there, and that's a problem. He has to win, and he can win ugly. He could win throwing 100 yards.
Yep.
He has to win.
Yep.
He's 2-8 in his last 10 starts, and offensive line play is horrible. Like that
Terrible.
Safety last week. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And Doug even said we had Brian Thomas breaking.
Yeah,
like Trevor was going there. Trevor didn't even have a second to look up.
I mean, he's
way.
snapping the ball, and the whole defensive line is on top of him. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Tom Brady, Joe Montana. You're not. If you can't look up to see your receivers, it doesn't matter who you are. It's not going to happen.
And Trevor said it last week too in the presser. He was like, "It's every one of us." He's like, every single person on the offense had one mistake today that led to the way we played. And it just always seems to happen in the most inopportune time. And it's just like, all right, well then fix it. Like, is it focus? What is it?
I don't know. I don't think anybody in that building knows. And that's why we're 0-2.
They seem to not be having answers. So is it something deeper? I don't know. There was some talk this week going on about some stuff. We'll wait a couple weeks to get into that.
No, Kenny, tell me what the talk is.
Well, the talk is like watching Locked On Jags, because I watch him every day. And Tony Wiggins, that guy's he's dialed in. He's a beat writer for the Jaguars. He hosts the Locked In. I think that's a good series, like across the whole NFL and all their sports. I mean, even the Magic guy does really well. But he's been talking what we've all thought from the beginning is like, is Balky, like, if finger pointing starts happening, if we lose Monday.
Did Balky put the roster in spot? They didn't address the offensive line.
They didn't address the offensive
Mitch
line.
Morse. I mean, Morse has been solid, but they have a major liability in Scherf.
Scherf's a problem.
And he's older, and I know you got him locked in for a lot of money, but when do you get to the point, I mean, do you have to lose Monday night where you give the kid, like, I mean, is Cooper Hodges going to be the guy that comes in and does it?
He's young, he's strong.
Are you going to make Walker Little play guard? Are you going to make Walker Little play tackle? Because neither one of our tackles have been very impressive either. I mean, you might as well hand Cam Robinson a red cape and say Olay, because that's what he's done all year.
Oh, dude, there was a play in the first week. Remember? It was the first week. I literally watched him just like pat the guy in the shoulders and hammer Trev. And it's like,
are you okay, Trev?
yeah. And then are you okay? Are you okay? Is everything all right, buddy? Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But it's, and I guess that's where the frustration is. Awesome to see Trevor finally fired up. Last time he got fired up like this was in the London game against Denver when Trevor had a bad game, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And he said, I'm not going to let this happen to us ever again. And then we go on that run, that 7-game winning streak, and make the playoffs. And let's hope it's finally there. Because the one thing that's even been said about Trevor from the get-go is, remember that interview after he got drafted where I think it was like a Gatorade thing or it was some stupid bullshit. But they asked if football was everything, and he kind of said, football doesn't define me. Well, the fucking great ones, it does.
Yeah.
Tom Brady didn't accept fucking losing. Patrick Mahomes doesn't accept fucking losing. And maybe Trevor's had to learn that because he was fucking fired up the other night.
And you know what needs to define you? $55 million a year.
Yeah.
That's what needs to
Well, it's all on you now.
It is.
Now you're not on your rookie contract.
Yeah.
Now you've been paid.
And the
owner's invested.
You're expected.
Show it.
You're expected.
Show it every week.
That's what I have a problem. I want to see Trevor will this team to a victory, and I haven't seen that since the San Diego playoff game after he threw 4 picks.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen that since then. And that's why I struggle. Like, I know he's got all the talent in the world, but I want to see him will this team to victory. Because right now, like, he tried last week, and we got the bad penalty from Dearness Johnson with the illegal motion, took a touchdown off the board. I mean, those are the things that are happening.
Those are the little things that are hurting this team, and it's happening.
Those inches.
It's those inches. Yeah, fucking any given Sunday, man. He says Ed what's his name in the movie? Al Pacino. Basically, he's like every game comes down to those inches, and it's true. You see it every week.
Yeah. Like, look at what did we watch today? We just watched all the 1:00 games.
Malik Neighbors with that unbelievable catch that sent him in like a 360 spiral and still had the wherewithal to come down with 2 feet in the corner.
Yeah, I mean that's the game we watched tons of games today, and there's a lot of teams that are in some serious trouble. I mean, serious trouble. We're not the only team that started 0-2 that had aspirations.
Right.
I mean, the Ravens, the Bengals. Bengals seem to start 0-2 every
year.
The
national media, too, wants to put out this, 0-2 teams will never make the playoffs, and there's so many percentages. And I guess that's true, but fuck, let's let the season play out. It's early. And with the way the NFL is now, and we've talked about this the first 2 weeks on the podcast, like, these teams not playing in the preseason, I think is a big deal.
It's a real big deal. I mean, tackling is sloppy.
Even the practice schedules, like, you hear, like listening to Happy Hour the other night with Tony Vaselli, he's like, offensive linemen can't get good unless they're repeating.
Need reps.
Learning how to get the body angle, learning how to set your weight, learning how to... and if you're just doing every day in practice, which the practice schedule is compared to back even 10 years ago, it's a soft schedule now. Not that they're not working their ass off, but it ain't what they used to do.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, 2-a-days back in the day, everything. I mean, now it's like they come out there, they can practice for, an hour?
Oh, do you have a cold? Yeah. Do you need to be missed this? Yeah. Do you need some time off of practice? Why do you think we're seeing injuries all the time? These guys' bodies aren't ready.
Yeah.
I think there's a correlation to it for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at all these guys, these huge guys going down. McCaffrey, Nakua, 49ers alone.
I know it's a violent sport and shit's going to happen, but...
Yeah, but you have to be ready to play.
The soft tissue stuff all the time.
That's the thing. It's soft tissue stuff. And that's because
Evan Ingram
bodies
popping
aren't
his
ready.
hamstring fucking right before the game last week. And I'm sure that had an effect on the Jags too, because, I mean, I'm sure they had, because he had, last year when we played the Browns, Evan Ingram was a huge part of that day.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure they had
And
a
Brenton
game
Strange
plan.
came in, and he played well as a backup, so you could just imagine the game plan.
It's almost like they
had.
finally got back to the game plan they had in place. But
they
it
have
took them
to
to the
be-
second half to do it. And it also took that bomb that Trevor threw to BTJ, who, guess what, NFL? That dude's going to be a problem. Like, Brian Thomas Jr. is the real deal.
Is really good. I mean, he is definitely.
So, hey, let's get him the ball early and often.
Get the ball out of Trevor's hand quickly.
Yeah.
Because they need to be up tempo. That's what they need to do. I even said it in the press
Because he
conference.
obviously doesn't have
When
time sitting in the pocket right now.
Doug and Press Taylor both said, "What did you do different?" Well, we went up tempo. Well, why don't we do that the whole game?
And Trevor wants to go up tempo. That was like the whole thing, even like last year. Like,
Get the ball out of his hand quick.
do what he likes to do and going under center. Like, stop doing the shotgun shit. Like, they've already talked about how, like, they were going to go to more under center, and I think they are trying to do it, but it's like, Trevor's good. Like, let him hand, play action pass. And shit, the bomb too, Brian Thomas Jr. was off play action.
Yeah, well, you got to establish a run for the play action to work.
They've actually been running the ball pretty good this season. Compared to last year. Last year, they couldn't run. They couldn't get a yard to save their life.
Etienne and Bigsby have been good. Dearness Johnson came in last week and had a little bit of action, and then he committed that stupid
And he
penalty.
knew it as soon as he did it.
Well, he lined up on the wrong side of the field, and Trev had to tell him to go to the other side.
And he didn't set.
And then he went
He
in
didn't
ocean.
set.
It
And-
was just like, this is the stupid stuff, man.
That's
It's the stuff that's killing us. Stuff that's killing us.
Every single week. And until they fix that shit, I think they can play with any team in the league.
Oh, I mean, they're not getting blown out. I mean, all this shit that we're talking about, they are 2 or 3 plays away from being 2-0.
And that's what Trevor said. He goes, the thing that and he actually said this. Trevor never swears. He's like, the thing that pisses you off even more is that it's all self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah.
Like, we're the ones causing it.
But the thing that
The 2 fucking delay of game penalties in the red zone.
not being able to get the plays in, that's coaching.
Him talking
man.
about people coming out of the huddle slow and like not getting set and ready, and it's like,
I mean, tomorrow Kenny, you have to see something different. If tomorrow's a big thing. The season's over.
It's a huge
The
game
season's
tomorrow.
over, or we have hope. There's no in between tomorrow.
and like I said even earlier, like even a loss tomorrow night, as long as we show that everything, even if we lose because Allen just plays out of his ass and it's on the road, but man, it has to look better than the first 2 weeks. If it looks really good and it just was like one play that altered the game, I'll be okay with it. It means the team's still together.
Mm-hmm.
But if they give up at halftime and it's a dog walk and Buffalo routs us, then it's over. Because then we go to Houston. And even though Houston looked like shit today, they're a good team.
They are. I mean, they got dog walked by the Viking. Am I going to say this? Are the Vikings the best team in the league?
The Vikings are 3-0.
Sam Darnold, baby. I mean, they freaking rolled the Texans today. It wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close. And C.J. Stroud looked really bad.
Couple interceptions.
Yep.
Offensive line wasn't blocking.
Davis Mills came in and they actually moved the ball. I'm not. I mean, it's not,
But, and I mean, even body language on the sideline and stuff, but.
Holy shit, man. Carolina's got 2 touchdowns today.
The red rifle.
The red rifle. I mean, if you are the Carolina Panthers, dude, and somebody's got to get fired for this whole Bryce Young trading, like, first-round picks. I mean, this is bad. That Bryce Young is bad.
They did fire that regime and then brought in I can't think of his name as the new GM, and apparently they've gotten off of it real quick. Like,
I mean, you're going with Bryce Young, who's terrible. Then all of a sudden you put Andy Dalton in, and they've got 2 scores already. Just midway through the second quarter, they hadn't scored yet this year.
and Las Vegas coming after a big win in Baltimore last
Your
week.
Your boy Gardner.
Maybe
he should still be our quarterback.
Okay. I love Gardner, and I'll root for him until the day he's not playing in the NFL anymore. But no, Trevor's the guy, dude. Like,
he is.
Trevor's the guy.
He needs to win.
I think he's learning. Like,
And the thing is
but the
that
learning needs to fucking happen.
The national media that thinks they know the Jaguars, they just see a loss. And granted, it's fair. Like, you have to win in this league or you're nothing.
Well, the knock on Trevor before was the turnovers. He hasn't turned the ball over this year.
And that's what's sad. And neither have we. We haven't turned the ball over either defensively. You need something needs to happen to click. It's like as soon as that ball got punched out in Miami, like everything changed all of a sudden. We knew they were going to lose that game, but to come out in that first half, which I am a firm believer, I add that up to the fan base. I mean, that was disappointing as a player. I mean, how can you get hyped up if you go out there and it's the other team's fans all over the place? There was orange all over that stadium.
You think, well, they're paid millions to play a game, but man, there is something about it because every time you and I are in that stadium and we see it look that way, we know exactly what the effort's going to be. And it almost feels like it takes them a half to wake up and be like, oh shit, now we're on the ropes. And this team seems to play their best when their backs are up against it. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but it's like I said last week, show you're pissed off. Let's create an identity. Let's fucking hammer the Bills tomorrow night, right in the face. Come out. I want the ball first, and I want us to go 90 yards and score and say, this is what we're supposed to be.
It is what we're supposed to be.
It's what we're supposed to be. Unfortunately,
it's not.
It's not.
And we're 0-2.
And we're 0-2.
What does Dennis Green say? You are what you are. You are what your record says.
And this team's this close to just get me completely fucking checked out and never being a fan again.
I've heard this 1,000 times. And he just said, KT, you just said like 10 minutes ago that we're going to win tomorrow night.
I know we are.
You'll never be checked out. You are the most positive.
You are the most positive.
You are the most positive Jaguar talk I've ever seen.
Jay caught me on Tuesday this week in a conversation on the phone that I went off for like 30 minutes on the biggest rant about I fucking hate this team and I'm done with them.
And here we are.
We're going to win Monday night because we're just that good.
And we're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Never say never. It's early in the season.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, they have to win Monday night. I know the season's not over if they don't win, but all things are pointing against them if they don't. If they go 0-3,
you have to win.
In a 17-game season, 0-2. I mean, the Bengals have proved it. They've went to the Super Bowl after 0-2.
The Texans were 0-2 last year.
Yeah, and the Bengals are 0-2 again. The Ravens are 0-2. Mm-hmm. I mean, you look at some.
That's a big game this afternoon.
Yeah,
because Dallas is 1-1. They don't want to go to 1-2. Because the media hype about them is even worse. Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine. Like, I get pissed off because no one pays attention to the Jags. Imagine if you're just constantly shit on every week because you're the
Cowboys team. The Cowboys have all the attention on them, and you just paid your quarterback. If you don't get it done now, you not only paid your quarterback, you paid CeeDee Lamb too, and then next year you have to write the check for Micah Parsons. So it's like, if you don't win now, or I mean, Jerry Jones is. I mean, I can't believe he's still running this team.
How many more times do you have to be one and done in the playoffs? You know, like for a team that's expected to be what they're expected to every year. And the bottom line is we're all just chasing fucking Kansas City because those guys are so good.
Yeah, and they got the refs on their side. They got Taylor Swift on their side. That game last week with the Kansas City, Cincinnati with that mass interference, it's like, come on. Like, you not only have to play against them, you got to deal with the calls that they get. It's so ridiculous, man.
Yep. It's just like watching the Pats during their dynasty. And like, I mean, that's what happens though, dude. You earn that shit.
Yeah. You earn the reputation that gives you those calls.
If you're good, the refs are going to be like, not in your pocket, but they're going to
give you the benefit of the doubt. And the benefit of the doubt could be
because you show it week in and week out. When you suck like we do, I get it. I get why the calls always go against us.
Yeah.
And I didn't used to, but now I do.
That's any sport.
You have to fucking prove it.
Even when we're watching the Magic play, you watch all these guys get foul calls against us, and it's like, how come we don't get any calls? Mm-hmm. We're starting to.
Starting to a little bit.
I'm not getting in a Magic conversation.
We're not
but
there
we're
yet.
We're not there
got
yet.
a couple of weeks to go.
But we're starting to. We're starting to. Yeah, dude. NHL preseason starts tonight too. Vegas plays tonight, so
really,
it's time. All these winter sports are starting. So
yeah, this is the best time of year. The summer's over. The dog days are done.
Yep,
baseball's getting exciting.
MLB playoffs are right around the corner.
College football's
happening, and we got a big game in Philadelphia tonight, KT.
Yeah.
And against Philadelphia and New York.
Yeah, what the Mets are doing right now is fucking unbelievable.
This has been a great week. A great week. Except for, Friday night, Peterson didn't have his best outing. But last night, or yesterday afternoon, Mania comes in. Unbelievable. Pitches a gem. I mean, I got one name to tell you. Luis Angel Acuna. Unbelievable. His first week in the bigs, 3 home runs already. I mean, Lindor's out, and it doesn't even matter. He is actually performing higher. This kid, when we drafted him in the Rule 5 draft, and nobody even really had an idea of how good he was. They just said, he was Ronald Acuna's brother. He's got to be good. But this week, so clutch. And he's taken Lindor's spot. Next year, the Mets are going to have to make a decision. McNeil is not hitting, so
you move one of them to second.
Acuna
right?
is going to have to be your second baseman.
Mm-hmm.
And Lindor,
how good is the middle infield going to be with that?
Yeah, the big question mark is what's going to happen with Alonso. But dude, tonight is a massive game because the Braves won today, or they're about to win. Diamondbacks are winning. Padres are playing some of the best baseball.
Well, you sweep the Phillies.
We lost one.
Oh, did you?
But it's a 4-game series, so we've won 2, and the Phillies won 1. So if they win tonight, that is huge, and it's setting up for our 3-game series with the Braves on Tuesday, which is going to be the whole season.
This is what it comes down to.
It's electric in Citi Field right now, and this is their last game tonight, and then they got 6 road games.
Hey, you were talking about Diaz coming in the other night with a 3-out save or the 4-out save.
4-out save last night. Yesterday he came in 4-out save. They needed him to do it, and he struck Schwarber out. He got Bryce Harper out. He just went through their lineup. His stuff is nasty right now. It took him a while to recover from his injury.
Of course it would.
Everybody,
this is when you want him pitching the best that he's going to be pitching again.
His slider is tight. His 4-seam and 2-seam fastball are reaching 100 miles an hour. He is, I hate to say it, but he's unhittable right now.
That's all you ask for from your closer.
And tonight
when
is
it gets to this
huge.
point in the year.
Tonight is huge.
Yep.
Huge. They have to win tonight.
What do we always say? You win a series, you go on to the next. You win that series, you go on to the next. Go take 2 of 3 from the Braves, and then go take 2 of 3 from the Brewers. Get that wild card.
The Brewers are getting swept by the Diamondbacks. What are you doing? We need you right now. And you're letting the Diamondbacks come in and just roll you. And it's you look at that schedule okay, the Diamondbacks have the Brewers. Okay, they're going to at least, and they're just dominated them. They didn't just sweep them. They're what were they up 8-3 or something
8-3
today?
early, yep.
It's just the Mets just can't get any help.
But the Mets just got to go do what they're doing. Take care of every day, win the games you're supposed to win, and let it settle itself. They're going to be fine. Like
I said last week, you lose a game and you can lose so much ground.
Yeah,
and that's what's you're afraid of. But no matter
it makes
what,
it so much. It's so exciting.
If they don't get
dude.
the job done tonight, the worst case scenario, you got a 1-game lead going against the Braves, who everything's on the line. You like to go into that series 2 games up because then you can close it out, hopefully. But the Braves seem to be playing. They just got Ozzie Albies back. But I love this kid, dude. I love this Luis Angel Acuna. He is phenomenal, man. But everybody, Alvarez, this team is firing on all cylinders, and it's a different hero every night.
Well, it seems to be I've checked out of baseball for the last few years, but hearing you talk about it all the time, and I'm always paying attention because I know you love the Mets, and when the Mets are doing great, I love it too. But it's there's so many good young players in the MLB now. It almost feels like back in the 90s. 90s baseball for me is the greatest baseball era of all time. It was amazing.
The Indians back in the day.
The Indians were amazing,
and
that's
Braves,
probably why
the Braves
were
Marlins,
unbelievable.
that whole run that those teams had. That was good stuff. And,
you look at what we were literally watching, probably the greatest player to ever play the game, and just had a night for the ages the other night.
Oh, Shohei.
Shohei.
50-50. And the way he did it, 6 for 6, 17 total bases.
What the fuck?
In one game. That's a week for some players.
Yeah.
And
it's a season for some
he hits
players.
3 home runs to do 50-50, and then the next night he gets another home run and another solo base, so he's 51-51. I mean,
What do you have, 10 RBIs
this
in that
guy
game?
is ridiculous, dude. It's unbelievable. We haven't seen anything like this in my lifetime that have been, the biggest thing growing up when I was in high school was the McGuire-Sosa home run chase.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing.
I mean, that was unbelievable. You're watching these guys steal the show. They were recovering.
Roided out of their minds.
Who cares?
But who gives a shit?
Everybody was.
Yeah.
Everybody was.
The pitchers were.
The pitchers were. Everybody
Hell, the
was.
coaches were probably jacking up amphetamines in the dugout.
You know what steroids doesn't do? It doesn't pick up your hand-eye coordination. No, you still got to hit.
You still got to see the ball.
And one thing that people
see the ball, hit the ball.
Yeah,
right?
the one thing that people that take for granted and don't give credit to Barry Bonds was his ability to walk and to have the eye.
Oh yeah.
Steroids doesn't do that. And he led the league in walks. You got to be. I mean, I know a lot of it was the pitchers weren't pitching to him, but still, you have to be disciplined at the plate to take those walks. But that whole stretch with McGuire, Sosa, they were all roided up, and they were trying to come back from the strike era. They were trying to bring fans back into the game, and sure as hell, that did it. But now, like what Shohei's doing is phenomenal for baseball because now he's bringing in, an Asian fan base from over there that maybe not always followed it.
Even
and
people
now,
like me who have checked out of baseball for a few years and are like,
I mean, this week
holy
was
shit.
unbelievable between Shohei.
I can't wait for the playoffs. Like
Shohei and Judge.
What they're doing, amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge, and he's playing for the Yankees. Shohei's playing for the Dodgers.
I mean,
you got all the big
markets.
You got some great young pitchers and Skeens in Pittsburgh. Who that dude's electric. Hopefully he doesn't have to go through Tommy John's. I mean,
feel like every pitcher has
we've always said if I had a kid and he was 16 throwing gas, I'd get that surgery done when he's
Let's get it over with. Let's get it over with.
Just rip heat.
But it's like every good pitcher is like, when is he going to have Tommy John surgery? When is he going to have
when
to
they're throwing that hard?
Yeah. And it's not like you got Shohei that can hit while he's going through
because
that.
in baseball, that's not a natural motion. Like throwing.
No.
Like for
have you ever seen the slow-mo where the ligament is like popping off the elbow as he throws a nasty slider? And a lot of problem with, I mean, I don't want to get into a conversation about Little League Baseball, but it's like these coaches are having these kids throw these cutters and sliders at age 12.
They're not
They're
ready for
going to
that.
destroy their ligaments moving forward.
Not to mention, too, and like we've talked about this before, and I've talked to other people about it, and I think it's a big deal. Like, you remember when we grew up, we played every sport.
Yeah.
And now it's at this point with like, and you're dealing with it even with your own kids, but like you're almost like we're dialing into just one sport. And you're not really working the mechanics of like football and baseball are two different games. Soccer and I mean,
yeah. Chipper Jones came out and said, he was a firm believer his kids should be playing every sport. Travel baseball has ruined kids, developing athletic ability because they're focused in on one sport. And
yeah, you're not getting those different angles. You're not using different muscles, different ligaments, different things that like allow you to like. I don't know, just your body to mature naturally when you're just doing the same motion every day.
Did we just get into Little League sports?
A little bit. A little bit. But it's showing, and I think that it's like why you're seeing the injuries. That's why Tommy John's such a big thing now. Like you just said, kids pitching curve. I mean, I remember when we were playing Little League Baseball, like kids that were throwing curves already. It's like, why are you doing that? Like you're not even developed. It's like lifting weights before you're the right age. Like
if you don't know how to do it properly,
you're going to stunt growth. You're going to stunt different things. So,
I mean, it's baseball playoffs are upon us. I mean, we're getting down to the grittiest week of them all. I'm pumped for tonight.
No, I know you are
Sunday night
rock
baseball
hard right now about the Mets.
Sunday night baseball. I am. This is a huge game. The Mets need this game, especially with everybody winning today, and they need to find a way. This is the last game at Citi Field in regular season. And maybe even if they make the wild card, they may not be back at Citi Field unless they make the divisional series because you got to play 3 games on the road if you're the 5th and 6th seed.
Yeah.
They're trying for that 4th seed, but the Padres are playing too good.
And you know what's funny, dude? Like, this is the shit that just like, I get excited just having my team in the race. Like right now, it's the best time for you. Like, because the Mets are like Every game matters. You're dialed in. You're tuned in. Like, I don't even give a shit if my team wins the league championship every year. I just want to be a part of it. I don't want to be done in October, man.
I just want to be a part of it.
I just want to be a part of the, just, I don't care if we lose the AFC championship game every year. Like eventually I'll get pissed off about it, but it's like just being there, like the run in 2017 with Bortles and the boys, like the Magic making a run last year.
You heard it, folks. The first Blake Bortles reference of the podcast.
Oh yeah, the boat. He's the fucking best of all time. He's the fucking best of all time, dude.
Oh, there's your boy sitting on the.
You want to rank top 5 Jags quarterbacks? I'll give it to you. Trevor Lawrence, Blake Bortles,
Mark Brunell,
bottom, number 5.
He's the only winner.
What did he win? Blake Bortles went to an AFC championship game and got screwed by the refs because the Patriots got the call. Miles Jack was not down, my friend.
Tom Brady's admitted.
And Doug Marrone was an idiot and took the ball out of Blake Bortles' hands in the second half.
Wow, we got KT all fired up about.
I'll go all fucking day, dude.
How about the Lions, dude? Lions 1-1. How about the Cardinals? Are the Cardinals really this good?
They were, they were a tough out last year for teams.
Like, do you think that Kyler Murray still got it, and is Marvin Harrison Jr. that good? Because a lot of people are talking about, like, this is a quiet team. If they beat the Lions today...
I was going to take the Cardinals today with getting 3 at home. I mean, right now it's not looking good because it's 13-7 Detroit. But
I don't think anything crazy's happened yet.
But Kyler, he's so elusive and shit, dude. Watching that guy dance in the pocket is stupid. He'll just run around like you're playing Tecmo Bowl from back in the day. Remember when you used to be able to do that, and then you just
Bo Jackson.
Bomb one over the top?
Bo Jackson.
Barry Sanders, it was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the Cardinals are one of the surprise teams. I mean, I thought the Vikings were, and then they just came out and demolished Houston. So the Vikings are for real. The Saints came back to earth. I think the Philly defense kind of checked them out.
Yeah.
But, the Steelers won today, right?
I think they won that game.
Yeah, 3-0.
They're all
Justin
Tomlin.
Fields. How in the world? Why are they playing this charade like they're going to let Russell Wilson play? Like, why? He's terrible.
He is terrible.
And Justin Fields, you're 3-0.
You're 3-0. He
Why
may not
are
be
you
doing
playing,
anything amazing.
The whole Justin Fields, Russell Wilson talk just needs to end.
Yeah.
Like, Justin Fields is the guy.
Is younger.
And do you think Chicago wants Justin Fields back?
They may.
Because that was a joke today.
Yeah.
Dude,
it's been a joke
I know
in the
he's
first
a
3 weeks.
I know he's a rookie. He's a rookie. I'm going to hold my judgments on him.
And our thing is more about how the media, just the national media, will blow these guys out of the water. Like, we've never seen anyone like him. He's the Patrick Mahomes of this.
Yeah,
and it's like
Pittsburgh did win 20-10.
People have said it. Like, what did he win at USC? He didn't win shit.
I remember him crying in his mom's arms.
Yeah.
That's who you want leading.
Which I'm glad.
That's who you want leading your NFL franchise.
I'm glad he cares.
Yeah. But it even when you watch the Hard Knocks, like, I don't know, man. I just don't. I don't see it.
No.
But I'm not going to judge. Just like Bryce Young, you could see that he was a boy playing a man's game. I've said this several times. He's a boy playing a man's game. And I'm so glad.
He'd probably be an amazing coach because they say he's a brilliant.
You know what I think is so good at what the Panthers did? Is the Panthers actually said, you know what? I am not going to start this kid just because we drafted him number 1. I'm going to go with the guy that I think we have a chance to win. And Andy Dalton's got a 14-7 lead on the road in Las Vegas.
Yep. No, that's bold, man. And you like to see more of that shit from front offices because too many times GMs
your job's on the line.
Yeah.
Your job is on the line. You're married to a quarterback.
Yep.
You are married to a quarterback as a GM, as a head coach, and as a owner. When you draft somebody, that's your guy. And I'm so glad to see that the Panthers were like, no, this kid sucks. Well, that's harsh. This kid doesn't have it. But I've got a veteran. I've got pieces here that we can win. Andy Dalton is an efficient quarterback. He's been his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got guys there that can play. And the kid can't play. He can't even see over the offensive line.
Well, I think it comes back to, like, everyone's always like, oh, you got to play these kids early. I don't think every time you have to play them early. I think what the Patriots are doing with Drake May is awesome. They know their offensive line
They
isn't
don't want to
any
get
good.
the kid killed.
Well, exactly. What
But look at the best quarterbacks that have come out, dude.
David Carr got ruined because the Houston Texans line sucked in the beginning of his career.
Yeah.
And he was just brutalized week in and week out. Not saying he was going to be the greatest quarterback we've ever seen, but kid had talent.
You know who does it really well? Are the Packers.
The Packers do it amazing.
Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre, came in, Hall of Fame career. Jordan Love came in and set. So far, he's off to a great start. We don't know if that's long term, but the Packers are not afraid to let someone sit on the bench for 3 years.
No, because it takes a lot, especially with the way the college game is. And I know the college game is infiltrated like the NFL, and like, you know, they're going to more spread things and more out of shotgun and all this.
And the college game is different too, so guys come in much more ready to play than they used to.
But do they? I think that's part of the problem.
Some programs.
I mean, they've talked about like part of the problem with Trev and why people thought Trev would take time adjusting the NFL was they played such a simple system at Clemson that like it was all shotgun and it was all like he's having to learn. And then, unfortunately, he had Urban Meyer as his fucking coach the first year. That was a joke. And now he's really learning under Doug Peterson how to play the quarterback position at this level.
Yeah, Doug played.
It all matters where you go and who's in control of your thing.
Like Bryce Young, I hate to say this, but he's done. He's never gonna. I mean, yeah, I heard a report today that was like, oh, they're going to get him to start again later in the season. Really?
How do you go back?
Why doesn't he start now?
Just let him.
You know,
let him.
What if Andy Dalton rolls off 3 or 4 wins? That kid will never see the field again.
You can't go back to him at that point.
No. I mean,
you may be able to do it next year.
You were inept,
right?
To the point where it was really bad. They hadn't even seen the end zone. There was a skit on Fox today that was like, Carolina, this is an end zone. I know you haven't seen it yet, but this is it. Yeah, it was hilarious. But it's like, Andy Dalton is an efficient quarterback. Like, I'm actually proud of the Panthers for making that call. Just be like, we're going to cut our deal right now, and we're going to start because the new coach is like.
And the players know. Yeah. That's the thing. The locker room knows.
Yeah, when you don't have the guy. And the players aren't responding.
And they're watching Dalton sling it all over practice, and they know he can run an offense, and they know he's not.
They know what he's done.
He's not going to make.
He's not
going to
turn the ball over. Not going to turn the ball over.
He's giving you a chance to win. That's all these players want before they're finally checked out. I mean, when you get to like week 14 and you're just not having a good season,
shit. The way they were headed, it would have been week 6.
Right.
It's look at like the disappointment of the Lions last week. Like, we're watching the Lions Cardinals right now. Like,
the Lions lost to the Bucs last week.
That,
and then the Bucs go out and lose.
The Bucs got waxed, dude.
And Denver hasn't looked good at all.
Bo Nix.
I'm
telling you, Bo Nix, whatever, he's 42 years old or whatever he is, and Sean Payton. Sean Payton, he's always been against rookie quarterbacks, but Bo Nix isn't really a rookie. Like, he's a rookie in the league, but he's been playing quarterback for 10 different schools.
Oh, I swear to God, he was in college for 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, the kid is good. I thought during the draft that he was the most promising quarterback coming out, mainly because he reminds me of like a Chris Winkie. Chris Winkie was and that was before all this transfer portal stuff for Florida State. He was like 28 coming into the league because he played baseball.
Yeah.
But Bo Nix, I mean, there's a reason why Sean Payton went with him. It's very uncharacteristic of him going with a rookie quarterback. And they got the W today.
And it's also Sean Payton's guy. So he's like
he's
completely
invested.
Dialed in. Like, he inherited Russell, and you saw how bad that went. Like last year, it went bad real quick.
I am done with fucking Russell Wilson.
I know.
If the Pittsburgh Steelers,
he's just so fake.
If the Pittsburgh Steelers put Russell Wilson in the lineup, everyone in that organization should be fired. Mm-hmm. Starting with the almighty Mike Tomlin. If he makes that decision, I don't know how you could make that decision after starting the season 3-0 with Justin Fields.
You can't.
Russell Wilson is a terrible quarterback. Mm-hmm. He might have been good 10 years ago. But his time in Denver...
Was he? Or was he having an amazing defense, and he just had this ability to just, like, chuck up Hail Marys that just seemed to always, like, land in... Like, I never thought he was a guy who could play from the pocket. He was a guy that would just scramble and run around and then chuck one up, and one of his guys would go up and get it. But that Legion of Boom defense was what had them as good as they were.
And
when they
Lynch.
finally paid Russell, and it was his team, what was Seattle doing? They ended up
slowly
trading him to Denver.
Declined.
And then Denver
declined.
sucked. And now he's in Pittsburgh. Yeah. And his teammates...
He's a problem.
And there was a problem then in Seattle, too, when, like, it was, like, really brought to light. Like, that, there was a game, like, 2 years ago. I think Denver was going back to Seattle. Or Denver was going to Seattle. And the whole Legion of Boom went to be on the Seattle side, the sidelines. Because they were like, this guy got all the credit for everything, and we're the ones who did everything. It was a legit thing, man. Like, they didn't like him. That's why it all fell apart up there.
He is a problem. And the Steelers, if they make that decision, I don't care. Like, quit faking the injury stuff. Like, there's a reason why you went with Justin Fields. Granted, you got Russell Wilson for about $300,000.
Yeah.
It's worth the risk, especially if he's just going to be
it was a great trade to bring him in.
But Justin Fields, obviously, that team is responding to him. You need to go with him. If you go back to Russell Wilson at this point, everyone in that organization should be fired.
And Tomlin knows this. Tomlin's not going to do it.
Just stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, Justin Fields is our guy. You don't need to create a controversy every week and say Russell Wilson is practicing. Who gives a shit if Russell Wilson is practicing?
Tomlin's doing like his normal thing. He's like, I'm not getting into the schematics of this bullshit and stuff. And
and again,
but it's like, no, just come out and say it. Like, no, we're going with Fields the rest of the year.
And don't even say it. Like, Justin Fields is our quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, why does it need to be addressed? And Mike Tomlin, typical. Nobody's talking about the Steelers. 3-0.
3-0.
What is up with this damn fucking Steelers, dude?
Mike Tomlin's just an awesome coach. I mean,
and they wanted to get rid of him.
Last year they wanted to get rid of him.
That's how stupid fans can be. Mm-hmm. You wanted to get rid of Mike Tomlin.
Because he hung on to that Canada guy for so long, and they Pittsburgh hated that guy. I mean, when you're chanting "Fire Canada," opposing team stadiums where they were chanting.
To fire an offensive coordinator, but I mean,
and now they got Artie Smith there, who's probably doing what the Steelers do: run the football.
And that's what Artie Smith should be doing. He should be a coordinator.
Yep.
And we've had this conversation last week. Some guys are great coordinators, terrible head coaches. Mm-hmm. And who knows if Smith really got a chance in Atlanta? Who knows? I mean, is 3 years enough? I don't know. But for those Pittsburgh fans that wanted Mike Tomlin gone, I mean, that is ridiculous. This guy
never finished below 500.
That comes from a fan base. That comes from a fan base that hasn't experienced the depths of the league. And what I mean that is,
come be a Jacksonville Jaguars fan for your whole fucking life, like we have.
The Patriots are about to pay their price for their success. They're about to go through that. You know, these teams that have struggled to find Mike Tomlin. You guys wanted him out because he finished 500.
Because it's Super Bowl bust for organizations like that. They're so used to winning Super Bowls. They got 6 of them over their lifespan. We haven't even been to one, and have only been close
twice.
Three times? 3 times. The Brunel days and then
Bortles. That's a
Blake.
Third Blake.
The boat.
Third Blake reference in this podcast.
I love Blake Bortles, dude. You know I do.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I said, Trevor, Blake.
Come on. Mark Brunell has got to be number 1 at this point.
No way.
Trevor hasn't won enough yet.
No,
he might end up being there. I hope he is.
He's going to break all those records.
But right now, he's not even close.
I know.
Right now, he's not even close.
I know. He's not even close to the boat.
He has the potential.
He's not even close to the boat yet.
He has the potential to be the greatest Jaguar of all time. But it all starts tomorrow night.
It all starts tomorrow night.
Did you hear the crew tomorrow? We don't have Buck and Aikman. We got
because there's two games tomorrow night.
We got
right?
Of course, Jaguars don't get so low. Yeah, we got.
That's probably where they're like, we'll put the Jags on, but they'll be on the B coverage.
Yeah, Chris Fowler, Lewis Riddick,
and Dan
Orlovsky. Your boy Dan Orlovsky.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what that asshole has to say.
If he's not running out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to hear him. At least Trevor took that safety in the end zone. He didn't run out of the back like a scared little.
I love Chris Fowler. I love him. He's one of my favorite guys.
Fowler and Reese Davis are fucking the best at ESPN.
Yeah, I think so. It'll be good. I mean, I listened to the interview with Lewis Riddick this week.
Oh yeah, with JP.
JP, and he was good. I mean, he was talking about, he calling it honest. Like, Trevor has to win. You know, all eyes are on him. And that's, if you
That's
don't
where we're
win, that's where we're at.
And the thing with Trevor is like, I believe he's the type of guy that will right the ship. I really do. And seeing it last week, I'm not to bring up the presser again, but seeing him that mad and that just
It's
like,
how is his teammates going to respond to it, though?
isn't that what you want from your leader?
You do.
They all came out and actually said, we love that, seeing that fire from Trevor. Huh. So it's like, all right, Trev, let's go.
Show it.
Let's go.
Show it.
Come out Monday night. Let's beat the piss out of the Buffalo Bills in their stadium, Monday Night Football for the entire world to see. Let's do it.
It's your show. It's your show. It's your time to shine.
Yep.
And it's, it's either that or you're 0-3 with Houston around the corner.
With Houston around the corner in Houston.
Yeah.
Now, we went up there last year and beat Houston, but go take care of the Bills, and then we'll go over there and take care of Houston. We'll be 2-2. And
here goes KT.
Oh, I'm back. I'm back, baby. We are back.
30 minutes ago, you were debating on your life with the Jaguars.
Oh, I'll be. Wait till Tuesday when we lose and I'm fucking over them again.
Oh, this is. KT starts his Jaguar prep in July. And I always tell him, actually, July's kind of late, April. And I'm like, dude, just relax.
The day after the season.
Relax. I call him the Kool-Aid man because he comes in guns a-blazing. And I'm like,
I love that T.O. Kool-Aid, don't I?
Yeah, we've been Jaguar fans too long where I try not to get too excited because I need to see it on the field.
Because we're Jaguar fans.
Yeah. We're used to disappointment. So we need to see it. On the fan, we're used to, guys coming out and just throwing up duds one after another. And so far, same diet.
Yep.
Yeah.
But since this new regime has been in place, like we've had this every season. 2022, we started out really bad, then they went on that run. Last year, we go 8-3. And then we fall
apart.
And here we are at 0-2. It's like you just feel like that next run of games is going to come out of this team. And hopefully
the schedule's not easy, dude.
It's not. The schedule sucks this year.
It is not easy. Not easy. How about the Panthers going to score again? Andy Dalton, baby, the Red Rocket.
Yeah, the Red Rifle.
It's the Red Rifle. Red Rocket. What's the Red Rocket? That sounds good, too. Yeah, the Lions have a lot to prove today. Look at this, Jared Goff. Yeah.
No, it's going to be a fun year, man. Like the NFL is right where it should be, parity every week.
Yeah, I mean, right when you think a team is dominant, I mean, the Vikings are the only team that really came out. I mean, the Steelers, I don't think have been as dominant as the Vikings have. They're still 3-0, but they haven't been as dominant. I mean, the Vikings have
looked good all 3
49ers
weeks.
Last week. I know the 49ers are depleted. I know I got Deebo Samuel on my team, McCaffrey. My fantasy team is to shit right now. I think I'm in last place, dude.
Yeah.
I thought I had a good team. You know how you leave your draft and you're like, oh, my team's so good.
As soon as you leave the draft, you're like, I'm fucking winning this
and
whole
then
thing
and then week one comes and 4 of your guys are doubtful and you're like, oh my God, my depth is terrible.
Or half your bench scored all the points and then you don't even get any credit for it.
Andy Dalton. Look at this, Kenny. Look at this.
Hey.
35. Dude, Bryce Young does not have that to Adam Thielen.
That was a throw, too.
That's why Bryce Young is not playing.
Split between 2 defenders, only where his receiver
That
could
is
get
why
it.
Bryce Young's not playing.
Yep.
That play right there.
Yep.
Dude. The Panther, I think Thielen got hurt. But that was
He's got the wind knocked out of him.
Incredible throw, dude.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Look at the Panthers having fight. So here we go. This is why my theory about tomorrow night's okay. We're 0-2. We're going into Buffalo. We seem to have their number. I respect the Bills. I think they're hard out.
I don't think anybody really knows what the Bills' identity is yet because the first 2 games have not been because of Josh Allen. It's because of Cook.
Yeah, they've been running the ball and playing good defense.
I know the first game against Arizona was
they got a good defensive line, here we go.
Last week they had a good defensive line.
Hey, O-line, why don't you step the fuck up and block for your boy?
The game, I think we talked about this earlier, KT. Last year, Trevor got banged up, And that next game was a Thursday night football game against New Orleans, and everybody was like, "Oh, Trevor's not going to play on a Thursday."
Yeah, he had a knee thing.
He goes in, and Press Taylor or whoever was calling the plays that day, they put together a game plan which got the ball out quickly, and they dominated that football game and won that game. Where Trevor was 2-step, 3-step drop out the ball. Christian Kirk had a huge night.
He had that walk-off touchdown, which was unbelievable.
And it was like
Trevor was running on a bum knee.
Yeah, we need to be up-tempo and get the ball out of his hand quickly. That's what needs to happen.
Yep.
And, tomorrow night, we keep harping on this, but a lot is on the line tomorrow night.
Yeah, our season's in jeopardy tomorrow night. So if we talked a little Jags heavy today, that's the way we wanted to
There's
be.
a lot of stuff going
because we got a lot going on.
And I got a lot of stuff going on tonight.
Oh, yeah.
The Mets, tonight's huge. There's a lot of
huge.
stuff going on in the old noggin.
Yeah. We got a lot to look forward to.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good couple of weeks. This week is going to be huge. I mean, the Mets are going to lay it all on the line. They got 7 games left. Tonight is huge because everybody won today. Just like I said last week, the Mets can't afford to lose a game. They put themselves in this hole with their early season start in May and June. And if they would have just played that 500, we would have been probably walking away with the division tonight against the Phillies. But it all comes down to tonight.
Hey, we like to do it the hard way. We're going to get in the wild card, and then we're going to go take over.
And nothing's ever easy for us.
No.
I would like just one time for one of our
just
teams
to not have to
do
worry.
it the easy way.
Just not worry.
Can we get a two-score lead tomorrow night just so we don't have to think? Yeah. Can I get a 3-run lead tonight? Can I get a 3-run lead?
Oh no,
tonight?
Jay, we can't because as soon as we get those 3-score lead, we know that that it's something's coming.
Yeah.
Something's gonna happen.
That's the problem with us, like Mets fans, Jaguar fans, Magic fans, Gator fans, everything. We're so trained that we can't enjoy success because we're waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yep. That's exactly it.
And it's because it always drops.
After 2017, I would have told you the Jags are going to go with Bortles and everything. Yeah. That defense that was built.
Yeah, and they came out in 18 and started that way, and boy, did it collapse.
Yeah, we have New England come down, a replay of the AFC Championship game, and we throttle them at home. And it's like, okay, we are that team. And boy, did it go bad.
And it went south in a hurry. Like guys wanting out of town.
Fast.
It's just, I don't know, man. I guess we're just not meant to be successful.
No, I know. Yeah.
We got the Magic coming up in a couple weeks. That's promising. Very promising.
Very promising.
Very promising. I'm not going to get excited. We're going to keep Kenny calm. The Kool-Aid Man's going to be calm.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing.
Preseason should be starting up in the next couple of weeks. If hockey's starting up tonight.
Yeah, October.
Yeah, I would say probably they got a month of preseason.
Yeah, because the regular
October
season.
25th.
The regular season will.
October 25th is the home opener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we got Banchero and them boys getting ready to rock it.
Yep.
Franz needs to step the hef up this year, man.
He got paid.
And he had a dreadful end of the year last year. So we'll be paying attention to that. You'll be hearing us talk some Magic here coming up.
We could get into this. We're not going to get into it right now.
Not yet. Yeah. We're not ready for the match. It's NFL.
Yeah.
Gators got a win yesterday. That was a nice little thing. It might be the last one of the season, but hey, at least they got 2. They'd get 2. Yeah. We got 2.
Yeah. They got to play 4 top 5 teams in a 5-week stretch. That's unbelievable.
It's fucking brutal in the SEC.
Unbelievable.
The SEC is brutal.
Unbelievable.
The SEC said, "Oh, you want to get better? Let's add Texas and Oklahoma to the slate every week."
SEC
and Texas looks like they are legit, and they got 2 quarterbacks who are the best quarterbacks in the country. Yeah, the Mannings. The Mannings don't even care because they've raised Arch so right that they're just like, he can sit. We just let him do it the right way. Yeah. When he gets in, he's going to prove that. And because Quinn Ewers is fucking awesome too, man. Like, what a good problem to have.
Sarkisian.
And Arch doesn't seem to care that he's having to sit. He knows his time's coming.
Yeah. But KT, another episode in the books, man.
Yeah, man.
A lot on the line tomorrow night. A lot on the line.
Tomorrow night's for the season.
Yeah.
I just want to see fight. Win or lose, I just want to see fight.
Yeah.
I want to see a good game. I want to see a back and forth between Trevor and Josh Allen.
Well,
I
no,
want people.
I don't want to see the fourth. I just want to see the.
Yeah, I want Josh Allen. To
No, I don't want to see it back. I don't want to see
tomorrow.
it back and forth. I don't know about you. I'd like to see it.
I just want to see total domination. Jags get out of there 32-7.
I don't want to see any back and forth. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know.
But
I know.
yeah, man, tomorrow night's big night. We'll see what happens. We'll be back next week to talk about it. Hopefully, KT will be calm. I don't know. We'll see.
Could be a whole different side of me next week. It all depends on what happens tomorrow night.
He could be completely checked out and wearing. He could be wearing Texans gear next week.
I could be. Yeah, fuck that. I hate the Texans.
All right, guys. Thanks again. Follow us on everything. We're on all social media aspects. Subscribe to the podcast. Give us a rating. We appreciate everything so far in the first 2 episodes. And in the great words of Jackie Moon, ELE. Everybody love everybody.
All right,
See you next time.
Peace.